Planting peppers is what we're going to be doing in this video today for the Bad Back Gardener. It's about the end of February here, beginning of March, and we're going to get started with starting our peppers indoors for the season here for the garden. I'm going to be planting 3 trays of peppers. I've got numerous pepper seeds, if you've caught any of my videos of picking out the peppers. So I've got almost a half dozen or more different kinds, hot and sweet peppers, bell peppers, and grilling peppers, and then some, like I said, some hot peppers as well. And we'll get started with that. Now, if you've caught my other video on making a custom soil mix for starting seeds, that's what we'll be using today. That's what I have this bin filled up with today. And we'll fill up these peat pots. These are 50s. So there'll be 50 in each tray, so it'll be 150 seeds or pots I'll be planting of the peppers. So we'll get started with that. Okay, first thing we're going to do is fill the peat pots up with soil. Okay, now that we got them all filled up with soil, I'm going to take it and just ever so lightly tamp them down a little bit so there's room for the seeds, because I've filled them up to the brim here with soil. So I'll go through and tamp each one down a little bit to allow room for the seeds and allow room for the covering soil. Now for this first pot, we'll be planting some Thunderbolt sweet peppers here. I'm going to be planting 30 of them in this tray here. So that's 3 sections here. Now, I usually seed by hand. Now, some people will use a seeder similar to what you see here. You just fill it up with seeds, and then there's little different size holes the whole way around. You can turn the dial, and that lets the size of the seeds flow through one at a time. And then you just tap as you want. I usually do mine by hand. I like doing that better. But so we'll get our seeds out here. And you can put 2 in per pot. I usually just do 1 per pot because they're not very big. These peat pots here aren't real big. So we'll go 1, and then if they don't come up, then I would reseed them with another seed after a little while that they don't come up. This packet's supposed to have 20 seeds in it, so we'll see how accurate they were with their seed counts. If anything, normally you will get a couple extra. Usually you don't get it shorted. You usually get a couple extra seeds of what that says in the packet. And that was the case. In this one I got 22 seeds. And I got 2 packs of these because I wanted to grow more of these ones than what was in one single pack. Okay, that's our 30. I'm going to plant 10, what they call majestic peppers. They're a sweet pepper too, sweet grilling pepper too. There's supposed to be 10 to 12 seeds in this, so we'll see if we get what they said. See how many we get in this pack. Okay, we got 11 seeds, so that was right in the middle of what they said we were going to get on that pack. Okay, the next pack, we're going to plant 10 more. It's called Atris. A-T-R-I-S. It's another long, sweet grilling pepper. Now what I'll do with this flat here, I don't really put tags on what I've planted here because I have it written down in my book, but I will want to know where it separates wet pepper from. So I just take a toothpick, just stick it in the end, and in the end that tells me that's a new section and that's a new section there. So the next thing we're going to do is wet the seeds down just by spraying them here a little bit. And that will just give them a damp coating. So I will water this later and have the water come up through and soak them down. But this gives them a start where it's moist and it'll start the growing process. Now if you're doing this and you have real dry seed starting formula and you're spraying it with this, you're going to be cleaning up all over the place, because if it's real dry, it tends to out everywhere and you make a mess. So if you're doing it in your kitchen like I am, you may want to have it a little bit damper of a mix, or just lay something around it, or be prepared to be cleaning up your mess. Alright, so those are all moistened there. Then we'll take, now I've used worm castings, which I could use that again if I wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead with these peppers and use the same mix. I'm going to use the same mix to cover these peppers with as I planted with, instead of the worm castings. If you've seen my video on planting my early tomatoes, I used worm castings to cover the seeds, and it's actually worked out very well. My tomatoes are about 4 inches high, and they seem to really like the soil I planted them in. They're going pretty strong, so that's a good thing. You only want to cover your seeds about the width of the seed. You don't want to put them too deep. Okay, so that's one seed flat planted. You can use, if you buy the trays with the lids on them, and you put water in them, that'll keep it moist in there while they're growing. I usually use this, especially for my peppers. I'll use a cover on them till they start peeking up through, then I take the cover off. I also use a heating mat. I use a heating mat to start the seeds. It just keeps the temperature around in the late, or the back 70s or the early 80s temperature wise, and it seems to help, especially peppers like a warmer growing environment. So those will be ready. I will put them on the plant stand and water them in on the bottom, let the water soak up. These pots here are a little bit different. These are an all-natural fiber pot. I used them the past couple of years and they work fine. Same as the peat pots. I don't really have a preference either one. They both seem to last about the same till you get them out in the garden. They don't like crumble away in here, but they seem to work pretty good. Okay, we got our 2 flats all filled up with soil and ready for the seeds here. We're going to plant one more flat of sweet peppers, sweeter bell peppers, and then a flat of hot peppers. So we'll get started with the rest of the sweet peppers. These are going to be King Arthur. These are a bell type pepper. Okay, the next peppers I'm going to plant are called Giant Aquangua, I believe. That's how you pronounce it. Aconcagua. So I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly, but they're supposed to be a giant sweet grilling pepper. On this one, they have a little note on it that the germination rate is not what they would like to see. It's a little lower, so I'm going to plant 2 seeds for every flat. Because the germination rate's just a little bit above half, 50%. It's like 55% germination rate. So I'm going to put, for the ones I'm going to plant 10 of these. Yeah, I'm going to plant 10 of these as well. So I'll be putting 2 seeds in each flat. Hopefully I'll get at least one of them to germinate in each flat. And then if I need to, if I see they're coming up to in a flat, I can pinch one off. and that way they can just have one per section here. Next one we're going to plant 10 more. 10 more, they're called Goliath grillers. So they're big, the Goliath series, and they're the grilling type peppers. Okay, the next ones we're going to plant are called Goliath sweet peppers. And they're kind of a grilling pepper, but I think they're more bell-shaped. Okay, and then the last 10 in this tray here are going to be called Italian sweet, and they're a long sweet grilling pepper as well. And we'll cover them with some soil. Okay, so this particular flat, because I planted 10, 10, 10, 10, they're all sections of 10. And I have it written down in my book what they are in order, but I need to know what tray is the first tray to start so I can track. And so I've taken just one of my toothpicks and taken a marker and colored it with a green marker so I can tell that that's the first tray that corresponds with my list in my garden tracking book. So, and we just stick a toothpick so I can tell that each one of these are 10. Okay, now for our last tray, these are going to be the hot or the medium hot peppers. And so we'll get started with that. First one we're going to plant is some jalapenos, and these are jalapeno early. So these are supposed to produce jalapenos a little earlier than what the regular ones are. Now these seeds are a year old. I got the big pack of them last year, and so I got a lot of seeds left over, so I did not buy any new seeds this year. So I'm going to put two in per pot, just in case the germination is from sitting around went down at all. I usually don't have too much issue with that, but I like to just put two if they are older seeds. And if you look in your seed packets, the way you can tell how old the seeds are, or even if you order them this year, to make sure they're not sending you a pack of old seeds, which is usually not the case, but each seed pack has the date on it of when it was tested, see what they germinate like. But there should be a date on them. It's either say packed for 2018 or germination tested in 2018 or something like that. And even if you're looking at your old seeds, you can look back at them and see the date on them. That way you can tell how old your seeds are, if you want to try planting them, or just to see how old you've been keeping seeds or how long you've been keeping seeds. Next one we'll be planting, again, these are seeds I bought last year and had quite a few left. These are jalapeno mild. So they're more of a main season jalapeno, but they're a little bit milder in the heat. So you're getting more jalapeno flavor without so much heat on them. The first ones I planted are probably going to be the hotter ones. These being the mild ones won't be so bad. Okay, the next one we're going to be planting is the large cayenne peppers. And we'll be planting 10 of those. Next seed I'm going to grow is it's a new kind. It's called Mad Hatter, and it's a newer pepper, I believe. It was new to the catalog, saying it was a new type of pepper, and it's a short squatty pepper. Looks like a hat almost, and it's supposed to be it's a hot pepper with really good flavor. I'm just going to try. Now this seed, because it's a new pepper, I didn't get very many seeds at all. They only give me 8 seeds total, and there is 8 seeds in the pack. So I'm going to plant just one row of them, one row of 5. And then to finish out the tray, one of my favorite peppers is called pizza pepper, and it's a bigger pepper. It's the same shape as a jalapeno, only it's probably twice as big or maybe 3 times as big. and it's got real good flavor and just a little bit of heat. Okay, now for these peppers here, again, I want to know where one begins and one ends. I've colored a toothpick to tell me the beginning of where they start. And I actually colored that one red just so I know these are the hot pepper trays. So I did 10, 10, 10, and then 5, and 15. Okay, that's going to do it for planting of the peppers for the upcoming season. Getting them started indoors here, and so they'll be ready to go when the weather breaks and we can get them in the garden. Hopefully we get good germination and a nice crop. You can also, if you have any comments or pictures or want to find out how to get a Bad Back Gardener t-shirt, or this is a baseball shirt, we also have some sweatshirts. Those are special orders, but the t-shirts we usually have. If you're interested in getting one of those, or like I said, making a comment or sending pictures or getting in touch with me and somehow, you can email me at bbgardner@zoominternet.net. You can also contact me through the Facebook page, the Bad Back Gardener Facebook page, and send me a message through that, or send me a message through the YouTube channel as well. So there's a number of different ways that you can connect with me here. So thanks for watching this video. If your back ain't hurting, you ain't working. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.